Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also, know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading, so I do look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes. This will allow you to understand why everything's playing out the way that it is, what the whole spiritual significance to the relationship is, because a lot of times it doesn't logically make sense, but we know that we're connected to somebody that isn't treating us well. They're not displaying the energies of unconditional love. They're not showing that within their character. If anything, they're triggered, they get in their own way, they sabotage the connection, and we don't really understand why we're attracting that type of person. So it's not really as much of what this person's going to do, but why they do what they do and how you can shape shift the energy, because there's many different realities that play it at one time. So how you deal with the person is whatever is going to manifest as karma. Right. So if you overgive to this person, if you lay down your boundaries, what would happen opposed to if you are coming from the true self, the higher self, and honoring yourself, like what manifests and how can you possibly achieve both, right? Like to be with this person. Can this person actually evolve is what I'm trying to get at. Is it even possible to have both? A lot of times we don't know, but if there's many different realities that play it at one time, you can actually be with your person, but it depends on what you do. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it would be an easy connection. However, it would be one that you could avoid the negative karmic retributions, but you would have to be really present, really aware, and prepare. Like when you're dealing with someone on a high vibration, you don't have to worry about their morals. You don't have to worry about what they're going to do. When you're dealing with someone on a low vibration, well, their character is bad. They live more from their ego. They live more from their addictions. They live more from, whatever their mood is without really the consideration of any other person. They tend to be very selfish. So understanding why you're attracted to someone allows you to actually learn the spiritual lesson so that you could attract someone actually of a better and higher vibration. And when I say better, I mean someone that's more in alignment with who you are today, not more in alignment from your traumas of the past. All right, so let's jump in and see what's going on. Let's see. Now, when I say that sometimes you can shape shift the energy to get what you want, it doesn't necessarily mean that you'd have a love affair with that karmic person. What it means is you could be friends with that person. You can still play a significant role within that person's life. You just probably wouldn't be able to have a balanced relationship if someone is on a really, really low, like so much lower vibration than you are, and they don't want to evolve. They have no intention of stepping into the best version of themselves. It's a choice whether we want to do that or not. Some people really just don't want to. They want to play the field. They don't want commitment. They have their reasons why. It's all based on negative past experiences, but nevertheless. All right, so let's see what the underlining energy is. Now, if you want to enter into any free reading with me, like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. Again, the word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out. The underlining energy, we look at the masks, and it is sorrow and sadness. I feel like you're in separation from someone that is sad. And they're sad because they know that they neglected you. And in the fact that they neglected you, they self-neglected themselves because this is a spiritual connection. That's why they're sad. I don't think that this person gave enough time to the connection. At the time when you met them, they didn't want to be in a serious connection. And so I just feel like they're sad because they never expected you to detach from them. They almost perceive that no matter what they would do, that you would still be there because you're a better person than them, if that makes sense. they decided to stay in a place of imbalance, and you got tired of being connected to them because it started to make you imbalanced, which just means that you got with thinking too much about them, um worried about the state of the connection, where the connection was going. This person was very uncertain. They always gave the energy that they didn't really know what they wanted to do. And in that, it didn't make you feel safe. And you're like, I really don't want to invest in somebody that doesn't know whether they want to be in a relationship with me, but still wants me there. And so I feel like like I said, we're thinking about it a lot. Like you felt like it was became like almost like an obsession, which happens when a person is breadcrumbing you, or when a person is intermittently manipulating, that they're giving you energy and then they stop giving you energy, and then they're giving you energy and then they're not giving you energy. It's like you're always waiting around for them to, show some sort of caring response, emotional connection, transparency. And this person very rarely did it. They would do it every once in a while because they knew that they would have to do it, but their inconsistency made you feel like you were like, well, I was always thinking about it, and it would became an obsession where you were like, I didn't want to stay connected to that, because it's not like you didn't try to talk to this person. You did. They were stubborn. It was like once you already gave them the attention, they were like, well, I know that you can do it, so I'm not going to do it. It's like, I feel like you did it to make this person feel comfortable. And once you showed them that you were going to do it, they're like, well, I don't really need to change. I know that you care about me. I know that you're sticking around. And so, if anything, you felt like they acted like they cared less. Again, that they didn't really care, that they were taking you for granted. Yeah, like always keeping things up in the air. Like, so you didn't really know, and pretending that everything was fine, and you got tired of pretending that everything was fine just because you felt like this person was every time that you would express that you were not happy, then what, like, this person would punish you. They would take the time away. You knew that they disapproved, so it was almost like you had to act like you were happy all the time. And then what would happen is every now and again this person would do something that was you thought was disrespectful, and then you would blow up, and then it was all about how you're emotionally not stable, how they made it all about your reaction and how you're jealous, and again twist things to like try to undermine you, pretending like they don't know why, to make it you feel powerless within the connection. And you're like, I don't again want to be in this type of connection where it just feels wrong. It feels like you couldn't be your true self. You felt like you were out of sync with everything because you were going against yourself. And I think for a long time, we didn't really know what this person was doing, because the manipulation happened very slowly and gradually. It went from the relationship being like love bombing to like so much caring, to them like wanting to share everything about themselves, gaining trust with you by sharing something personal about themselves, to let your guard down. And then you shared stuff about yourself, and then that person actually uses that stuff. And it's all about them having you being consumed with them. And then when you're telling them that there's something wrong, that they're pretending that there isn't anything wrong, and they're hoping that over time that you would be pushed into a place of denial, because in being the fact that you were confused. But when you confronted this person, it created a lot of triggers for this person. Like you said, but it nevertheless, this person still never gave you the answer. It created triggers where they got emotional, but then it was all about you trying to fix it. It was all about you, because they went from one extreme, from the best like from the best relationship that ever was to the worst relationship that it ever was without you seeing it. And it's because, again, this person forms attachments. They wanted you to form that attachment to them. But in that, it's not a healthy relationship. It's more about needing this person, not wanting this person. And it winds up being where you emotionally really don't get what you need. You're relying on a person that really can't give you that. But that's why this person comes in strong and fast, love bombing you, becoming everything that you want them to be. Like, again, the love of your life into, like, again, the worst person that you've ever met, where, you begin to feel as if you need like someone to like save you. You need someone to save you. And meanwhile, this person has geared you to be like their savior in a way, like fixing them, and but then never giving you the credit for that. Like you're the reason for all their problems over time. At first, you're the best thing where they take your advice, but then their life doesn't really change because they're not doing what they need to do to change. Instead, their focus is all about controlling you, consuming you with them. And it begins to work because all that manipulation gets you to not trust yourself, gets you to become more reliant. And it's with the little things that they say and the things that they do. It's not a lot of times outward. Like it's done passive aggressively. It's done by they may compare you to other people, flirt with other people in front of you. Um, you know, tell you that it's your reaction is the problem. It's that, making it like you're obsessed with them, but you are obsessed because of what they're doing. The fact that you're in a connection with someone that you can't trust. All these fell out, and there was four of them. We're going to take them just because I always believe that there's no mistakes. And what it is inner child that this person creates illusions in order to form a karmic contract, keeps you in a place of imbalance, and again, which is pointing out the inner child healing that you need. Because this person actually is the way that they are because they need a lot of inner child healing. We will pull one. It just ruined the trust. So being in a connection that you don't trust this person because every day something's different. It depends. If this person's in a good mood, then it's fine. The relationship is fine for the day. You are fine for the day. But if they're not in a good mood, then the relationship is not fine. The state of the relationship is not in a good way, and then you're not in a good way for the day. So you are put on an emotional roller coaster where you don't know what this person, what type of connection that you're in. You're just connected to a person on an emotional level where they're draining you, they're manipulating you. And it just really distorts your perceptions of yourself and the world around you. It actually it creates brain damage when you're in a connection that is using this intermittent manipulation of giving love, giving time sometimes and then taking it away, giving love sometimes and then taking it away, and then going from one extreme to another of being there the best thing that ever happened to them to the worst thing that ever happened to them, and not understanding, knowing why the relationship went that way. And then on top of it, this person like has avoidant behavior where they check out, that they do drugs. It's like you don't really even feel now that they can have an emotional connection. You don't you're starting to see that there was never really a true bond. What it was connected through passion. It was connection through this person wanting to control, dominate, like almost like as if you were property. And the reason why is because they can check out. They don't think about you. They don't think about anybody. They don't want to. They don't that that intimate connection. They don't really, like I said, they didn't want it when they met you, and I feel like they still don't want it. It's like if anything, this person would like to like just party all the time and do what they want when they want. And so in that, you would always feel ignored. And you did feel ignored with this person because they were coming in and out of your life. So you were not getting enough as it was. And then all their manipulation to make you feel as if you were less than by what they would do in order to keep you consumed with them. So again, then not focusing on anything to create yourself, you began to lose yourself. And in that, once this person knew that they had you, they, that's when they would do their drugs and they would drink. And then you were the cleanup person. You were the person that like were the one that kept the connection together. But this person was not giving you anything that you needed. You were doing it in hopes that they would eventually give back. But again, well, you were still ignored because in the beginning of the connection, this person gave a lot. In order for you to get hooked, they gave a lot on an emotional level. So you know that they can do it. And then sometimes every now and again, they throw you a bone, meaning that they give you a few breadcrumbs to keep you hanging on. And then what happens is that you try to like put up boundaries where I feel like you never did that before, because you treat people the way you want to be treated. And when you love someone, you don't have like a lot of boundaries put in place because you have an open heart. You want to share, you want to build intimacy, you want to create that trust, you want to, share your life with the person. And so the thing is, over time, you felt like you had to like put up boundaries, and then this person they didn't respect your boundaries. So, you were like, I don't like the way that you're treating me. So again, you were like, let me do this and put those boundaries there where that then this way I can see, are you manipulating me? Are you willing to change? Are you willing to like play a little bit according to my rules that are more balanced, that it's not just about you? This person was not willing to do that. I feel like you didn't turn around and say, hey, listen, you're not being fair to me. You're like, you saw that. So you were like, I'm going to make it more fair for myself. And in that, this person like would manipulate to make sure that like you couldn't, or would sabotage whatever you were doing, or would and that could be by ruining your time away. Like you'd say, listen, I don't want to talk to you every day. And this person would literally call you every day. Or you would say, when I'm out, I don't really want to talk about our problems. And this person would like want to like talk about your problems while you were out. They wanted to consume your life. It was all about them all the time. So having any other life opposed from them triggered this person. But then when it came time that you say, okay, well, then I'm going to give you the time, I'm going to give you the energy, and then they can't even give you anything emotionally. So they want to be part of your life, but they don't want to give anything emotionally. And that they're only going to do it when they feel like doing it, and it's how they do it. And the state of the relationship is dependent on this person's mood. And this person is like bipolar. That's what it's like. They're hot, they're cold, they're in, they're out, they're up, they're down. Like that Katy Perry song is what I'm hearing. That's like this person where you're like, okay, this person had a hard time of letting go of the past and the memories associated with it, and so have I. And they continue to play out as chaos in the relationship. So, like, there's a sense that you know why you attracted this person into your life. This person may not know, like, again, everything on a spiritual level because they don't really seem like they're very evolved. So, they mainly came into your life to, you know, teach you, to show you, and really like what you allowed in the past. And I feel like what you saw within this relationship is like it was the same types of patterns of abuse where this person, like would just psychologically and emotionally manipulate you, which you're like, I've been through this before. I've been through this before. And I feel like that's why you detached from it because you knew what this person was doing. They didn't think that you knew what they were doing. They again wanted you to be powerless, again, paralyzed, and thought that you were going to go for the bait. This person likes to be a con artist, and because they felt like they had many options, but they were very two-faced. They were very somebody that creates a lot of accidents, someone that wants you to not look at all the problems, not look at all the mistakes. All they do is bring disappointment and regret. And really, this connection, in spite of it being a bad experience, it was to come into your life to help you see things from a new perspective, to help you like clear, to also show that you're not really touchable. Like this person, like you're too ascended for them, that you're balanced. This person's not balanced. They came in perceiving that they could be a certain way. I feel like when you met this person, you thought that they were someone else. And that happens a lot of times when the relationship goes super fast. It's like, but this person's really unlikely to change. They don't want to change. They don't think that they need to change. And this is a time for you to be like creating with your life, that like you're going into an abundant part of your life that is going to be full because you put in work, and that this person like was not fair. And I do feel like that they're going to try to come back. It's like because there's a sense of an important decision. They know that this is a decision, but I also believe that they have things going on in their life, possibly some legal matters. So their intention is that, but I feel like they stay in a victim mentality. They have tunnel vision. They're very narrow-minded, like they're really out of touch with reality. So it tells me that this person um, is just very spiritually imbalanced, and they don't really have relationships. They don't like relationships. They like attachments because attachments feed their ego. Um, they didn't think that you would notice. They also were really out of balance where they felt like, I have a lot of options. I have a big ego, so I have nothing to lose. I think that you'll do it. Um, like go along with whatever I want, which is pretty much to be in a relationship without being able to have a voice. With being in a one-sided relationship is what I see. So it's almost like their intention now, even though that you're in separation, is that they would come back. But I'm feeling like they have legal matters going on, or there's something in their life that is actually preventing this person from coming back right now. Um, so they're a little bit in a victim mentality, like worried about what you're going to do. Where if it would be them coming in really quick, taking very quick action, but it would be very short-lived because of whatever is going on in their life. So again, they would take a quick, but it again would be very short-lived. And this because this person still has addictions, and we pulled that twice. It's like whatever's going on in this person's life that they don't show up for themselves. So they're avoiding a situation. So they might be court, some might be going through a divorce, some might be going through a separation, some might be like getting like just in trouble with the law. I don't know, but again, it's going to be different for everyone. But it's like they're not facing that situation. So because they're not facing that situation, they're trying to avoid it by drinking and suppressing, which is how they dealt with you in the beginning too. It's like they just didn't give you anything and they suppressed who they were the whole time. Once they had you hook, line, and sinker, that is, once that they had you on the hook, they turned into who they really are. And that's somebody that, is living more from their addictions, doesn't really like committed relationships, likes their like people to fawn all over them. They like to have their ego fed, but they don't really want to be in a relationship. They want to be in a one-sided relationship. And that's mainly so that they can stay in this addictive behavior. So I believe that this person, if they're drinking and drugging as much as that they are, they're also like running around with other people or just very non-committal energy, but they do have an attachment to you. And that attachment to you is a spiritual one that they don't really understand, but they would like to have that without, putting any effort in towards it. Almost like to have you like in their back pocket, like put on the shelf. So when they feel like, taking you out and playing with you, that you're going to be there. They don't really want you to have a say. Remember, if God forbid there's something that you're going through that is bothering you, it's like you're not allowed to really voice it. You have to pretend all the time that everything's fine, that this person doesn't really want you to have an identity because that would trigger them. If something's not fine, then it's like they know that they're not giving enough, then you're making them feel bad. And instead of them trying to fix it, they get more angry. That's what attachments are. Attachments are all about being with a person that only cares about, their needs a lot of times. And you feel like you need them because at one time they gave you love, or one time that they did something for you, or that financially you're connected to them, that you have a connection to them, but it's not a healthy connection where this person wants you to believe in the impossible. They want you to like focus all on the romance, and what is that it's a daydream. What is that it's like stories that this person likes to tell themselves, that it's like that it wouldn't be real because again, it keeps you in a place of lack, that there's not enough. They're not giving enough. So you moved on. You're like, I want to move on. It's like, it's time for me to move on. It's like you're tired of like resisting change. Like you want to go on to new endeavors. You want to go on to a new journey. It's like because this person doesn't change. They stay unchanged. They're stubborn. They don't want to change. And what is you're like, I don't want to be somebody that's controlled, though. You want to suppress me. I want to break free. You drain me. It's like you don't give me adequate enough um, love. You want me to submit. You want me to feel powerless. I'm looking for romance. I'm looking to like for good stuff. I'm looking for like to be in a better relationship. And there's a sense that, you are going to find it. You're just not going to find it right away. Spirit says within 6 to 9 months that you will find it, like a real romance, someone that like has the mutual, like things that are important, same types of goals, same types of visions for the future. So in the meantime, you need to find self. You need to find self. You need to again try new things and find yourself, because that energy is very toxic energy. It's one-sided energy. And spirit says you it was all about control and dominance for this person because they have very addictive behavior. That's what we see. And when the person is like drugging and doing drinking. They're not present. They're not creating new life experiences. If anything, they're messing up their life experiences. That's how they sabotage themselves. So they always need someone to fix their life. They always need that codependent person that's gonna give them the encouragement, the love, someone that's gonna like live actually for them almost. And that's make decisions for them. And that's, just spend more time on taking care of who they are than instead of who they are. That's what happens when you're in an attachment. You're taking more time to help that person than you are in creating your own life, is what I'm trying to get at. And that's what this person like tries to do. They try to hook up with people that they perceive are going to do that. Now, I don't know why this person perceived that you were going to do that. It could have just been because you gave this person time and there was a spiritual connection and you trusted this person. Let's see. The first card out is imagination. That's actually a gift. Play. That's another positive card. Isolation, self-love, protection. You can't see it because it's green. And then belittled. And then we have, let's see, usually take only 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm gonna pull 2 from this deck. Let's see what they are. And then we'll put it together to see, why did you attract this person into your life? First card out is break the silence and be vulnerable. So what Spirit said was, you didn't have support growing up. And so being that there was no support, where did that go? Sorry. You didn't have support growing up. If anything, you were belittled, and belittled is like someone that gets bullied, right? Someone that gets, so there was no emotional support. You were bullied. And if anything, felt very isolated growing up. And instead of the parents, or again, the family structure, whatever the dynamic was that you were born into, whether that was, immediate family, or mother and father raised you, sisters, brothers raised you, whoever raised you, aunts, uncles, you didn't feel protected. You didn't feel protected. If anything, you felt, again, bullied. And so whenever you had to go through anything, you did it by yourself, and you feel like you always have been more of a loner, someone that has gotten by doing things on your own, but without the emotional support, without the nurturing that you would need. So when you're growing up, obviously if you're being belittled, so what Spirit says is this was all about you self-love, giving yourself self-love. You have to reparent yourself. And when that means self-love is like to go out and play, go out and find yourself. Like don't stop yourself from living. Being connected to this person is a toxic person. They're not a healthy person. And Spirit says you grew up in an environment where you were bullied into doing what that parent or what that family member wanted you to do, like pushing you into being like submissive. So Spirit says this is not about that living safe, because you're not around that person anymore and just doing the same thing every day, looking for someone to come into your life to give you the love and the passion. Spirit says, no, you need to give yourself that self-love. And the self-love I want to see is by you going out and playing, going out and finding yourself. And you're not a child anymore, but you can still go out and play. Join something that that inspires you. That's a class. Take a class. Go, there's meetup groups, there's community events. Go volunteer. Go find yourself. like because life is bland. And because life is bland and there's no passion, there's too much of those past experiences of that parent that belittled you and controlled you that are still imprinted on your subconscious mind, which is why this person was able to come into your life. Again, you're a magnet of who and what comes into your life. Whereas spirit is saying, and this is also about breaking the silence to find your voice to express your actual feelings and to speak your truth. So understand, like, we can't go back in time, but when we were raised by a parent or were around a person that could have been our lover, our first marriage, even, it was a different lifetime per se, because it was a different phase within your life. And you were belittled by that person that was supposed to, like, that was, you were supposed to be able to entrust in, that you were supposed to be able to be vulnerable, that you were supposed to be compassionate, that you were supposed to be like all those things, but you weren't able to. If anything, you shut down, your heart shut down. So spirit says, well, we can't go back in time, but now we're going to present you with the same exact experience, but you have to handle it differently. And the way that you handle it differently is you speak your truth, you break the silence, you share your actual feelings, even though this person doesn't care. It's like what you're saying is, I know what you didn't do. I know, what I'm deserving of. You don't think I know, but I know. And so spirit says, so that you can give yourself that love by playing, so that you can be vulnerable. Because when you can be vulnerable around your tribe, you can be vulnerable around, like, being open to the healing that you need by embracing your authenticity. This person didn't want you to be like authentic. They didn't want you to have an identity. That's what it felt like growing up. That parent bullied you, belittled you every time you expressed your identity. They mocked you, they made you feel bad, they questioned who you were, so that you questioned who you were. Like, they didn't support you, they didn't love you, they did everything that this person did. Again, the same types of manipulation. And that's why spirit says, so you couldn't be vulnerable, but it's about learning how to be vulnerable. You have to be vulnerable, but you don't do it with one single person through your relationship in the beginning. You can do it over time once you trust that person, obviously, but it's to be vulnerable in who you are as being authentic and by investing in yourself, by playing, seeing what draws to you and connecting to people on a deep, intimate level because you have a common interest. You're all learning the same thing. You're all interested in the same thing. You're all at the same place at the same time, whether that's a retreat, whether that's a class, whether that's a vacation. It doesn't matter. It's that you're connecting to people through the heart so that you can, again, have that intimate connection, that because that's what's going to fulfill you emotionally. And when you're fulfilled emotionally, you can be vulnerable. You can be vulnerable because then you can give and receive of love. When you're playing, you find where you want to give and receive of love, just like what a child likes to do when they try things. And then something sticks, they like it, and they continually, put energy towards it. And then it grows and it makes a way where there is no way that connects you to other people and situations that allows you to become vulnerable. And that is how you give yourself self-love that's lasting, that connects you to other people and the divine, that makes you feel whole so that you can then attract somebody that's going to be more in alignment with who you are today and not the wounds of the past. And we close with one more card, and that is a new opening. See, we leave that person behind. And Spirit says, as one door closes, be confident another will open, and it will be for your betterment. Accept that life brings challenges and acknowledge the opportunities and learning they present to you serenity comes from within, and that you didn't allow this person to corrupt that. And Spirit says, yeah, like that every situation, this situation happened for your betterment, to help you become aware, to help you look at those situations from the past, to fully heal them so you can integrate them and transmute them. And Spirit says, somebody's coming. That's even better. Again, as we saw within this reading. All right. I'm going to leave that there, Scorpio. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.